when I was 13, 14, I used to be at the back of the class trying to draw guitars, big cello cutaway guitars with F-holes, little solid ones with pointy cutaways and rounded cutaways. And, I was totally into guitars.
As we all know, the Beatles invented a whole host of new sounds for the pop music sphere, but it was actually George Harrison who invented a brand new chord for this one Beatles song that he was extremely frustrated with. The Beatles were obviously one of the, if not the most innovative band of all time, whether it was producing the very first concept album, integrating their ideas of peace and love into music, or embracing Eastern spirituality. And this was particularly the case for George Harrison, the member of the band who spent more time in the shadows, but he was also the chief guitarist and the band's spiritual guide. So those moments of subtle innovation clearly meant more to him, which is why he is keen to let everyone know that at one time during their career, he actually invented a chord. For George Harrison, it felt like a long time before he could really truly experience those exciting moments of innovation. Whilst he felt like he may have struck gold at the very beginning of his career, working with John Lennon and Paul McCartney, the band's two chief songwriters, when he grew into an artist, he was still stifled and had to play second fiddle to the two main pioneers of the band. But it was then in 1966, with the production of the band's seminal album Revolver, the one that acted as a gateway from their poppier beginnings to their more psychedelic endings, where Harrison really started to find his feet.
All things must pass. All things must pass away.
It was that Eastern spiritualism and that moral compass of his that brought a new soulful conscience to the songwriting of the band. From 1966 onwards, Harrison proved himself to not only be a match for the songwriting duo, but someone who was criminally underrated by the pair and the wider music world. That was proven in the 1970s when he went to forge a solo career for himself and deliver records that were arguably more successful than anything Lennon and McCartney had put down. But let's go back, way before that solo career, when Harrison achieved something that neither of the pair could boast that they had done. "We just became more conscious of so many things," he said. "We even listened deeper somehow. That's when I really enjoyed getting creative with the music, not just with my guitar playing and songwriting, but with everything we did as a band, including the songs that the others wrote. It all deepened and became more meaningful." And these moments of reflection became keenly observed by Harrison himself, who was not only recalibrating his own life in the face of this newfound fame, but assessing it all together and its impact on a larger scale. And so throughout Revolver, and in particular on Harrison's tracks, the group attempted to realign their wisdom with the modern world, and in turn delivered one of the best albums of the entire decade. And it was the track I Want to Tell You, which featured on the LP, where Harrison invented this chord. And oddly enough, it's one of those tracks that isn't spoken about much when talking about Harrison's songwriting legacy. And it was perfect for Harrison because one of the things that he struggled with living under the shadow of Lennon and McCartney as a songwriting pair was that they were further along in articulating their conceptual ideas into lyrics, whereas Harrison had to rely on his more masterful guitar playing. And so his chord invention on I Want to Tell You went some way towards proving that. It showed that his masterful guitar playing had moved forward in terms of construction to actually deliver a song for the band. Speaking with Guitar World in 1992, the publication noted that there was an unusual chord at the end of the song, to which Harrison replied, "I'm really pleased that you noticed that. That's an E7th with an F on the top, played on the piano. I'm really proud of that because I literally invented that chord." Harrison said of the song in 1980 that it was about the avalanche of thoughts that are so hard to write down or say or transmit, fitting for a songwriter beginning to find his feet on solid ground. For the concept of the song, the invention worked perfectly. He said, "The song was just about the frustration we all feel trying to communicate certain things with just words. I realised the chords I knew at the time just didn't capture that feeling. So after I got the guitar riff, I experimented until I came up with this dissonant chord that really echoed the sense of frustration." The chord wasn't only left in the song though, as Harrison notes that the idea was then picked up once more during a later album. He said John later borrowed it on Abbey Road. If you listen to I Want You, She's So Heavy, it's right after John sings It's Driving Me Mad. To my knowledge, there's only been one other song where somebody copped that chord, and that was Back on the Chain Gang by the Pretenders.